Hello and welcome, traders. I'm Valentine, your host for today's insightful discussion brought to you by forexprogram.com. In today's episode, we have the privilege of diving into the minds of experienced traders as they share their strategies, insights, and journeys in the world of trading. Whether you're a seasoned trader looking to refine your skills or a newcomer eager to learn, you're in the right place. Without further ado, let's dive right in. Let's turn our attention to our esteemed guest for today, Jeffrey. Jeffrey is not only a seasoned trader, but also a standout member of our trading community here at forexprogram.com. Jeffrey has a 10K funded account. Today, Jeffrey is here to share his secrets with us. Get ready to learn from someone who's really done it. So, let's give a warm welcome to Jeffrey. Please introduce yourself to our community.
Yes, sir. Hello, guys. My name is Jeffrey Williams. I'm also in the Discord as well. I might not say too many things, but I'm always there checking out what's going on. This is one of my favorite prop firms. When I first started out, maybe 9 months ago, right, I came straight to this prop firm. They looked legit. It would look very eye appealing. It was really good. I liked it a lot. They had promo going on, and I got in immediately. I got in and, got in there. The target is about 5%, right, to get paid out. But it's well worth it because this is a very legit firm. Love it very much. And with all the things that went on, right, this firm has been able to stand strong and is very solid. Now when it gets into my style of trading is a little bit slower, okay? I don't like to run in there too much, right? Go in there, get this massive trend that's going on because it could go up a little bit and then it can also go down. Okay, market does what it wants. It will go up, down, this way, sideways, this and that. You could be in 1%, 2R, 1R, doesn't matter. Okay, market will do what it wants, and it's a very sporadic market, right? So I'm looking to trade a range. Mainly, maybe the last hour of a given session or Sydney, whichever one floats my boat for that day. And usually the pairs that I'm looking to trade, Aussie USD, Euro USD, mainly majors or minors, but it's really whatever is ranging. Whatever I think is ranging, I will trade it. So my favorite thing to trade mainly is Aussie New Zealand Sydney session. Love it. Very simple, not too difficult. And even if it goes all the way up, I know that it's going to come down and I'll be able to solidify my position and make a good profit. Or I might trade maybe something in the London session at the end of it. Okay, London session is very sporadic. But at the end, it will start to slow down a little bit and I can get myself a nice range trade. Not too difficult. Buy low, sell high, very simple. Don't need to overcomplicate this thing.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. In my opinion, it's really interesting to hear that because most of the times when I talk to people, they are always talking about trading London or trading New York. And you're talking about the sessions which are a little bit less volume, like the Asian session. But it's really interesting to hear that, and I'm looking forward for you to talking about a little bit what you're looking for. But the first question that I always ask is, how long have you been trading for?
I've been trading for a little bit over a year, but just because it was just 1 year, that was a year of going hard every single day, hours on the. So a year for one person might be different for another.
Yeah, that's true. In my opinion, it really took me a little bit longer. It was about 3 years until I became profitable. But at the end of the day, I really underestimated it, or I underestimated what I did in the beginning because I was joining because I thought I'm going to be a millionaire in 2 years. And after that, I'm just straight up went to losing 5 figures in the first couple of months. And I was thinking really, so my thoughts that I had going on were, yeah, I'm going to quit because that won't work out. And after that, I really started to put in the work. So I truly believe if you said that you're here since 1 year and you put in the work daily, that it's definitely achievable as well. Because if you go through the hardships and you have maybe a mentor where you learn the stuff from, it's totally fine. And really, it doesn't matter how long someone takes to really get profitable, because in my opinion, if it takes 3 years, it's totally fine as well. Because at the end of the day, think about someone who is going to study something that sometimes takes up to 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So really good. So you have been there since 1 year. And since when did you become profitable in that 1 year? Or how long did it take?
It took a couple months, not too long, because I did demo as well for a little bit. I was on demo, and I
Yeah.
also did my own account before. I was already profitable on the demo account. I had already used this same strategy, right? Because it was so simple, it was a little bit easier to become profitable. I just had to understand how the markets were moving at that given time. I would say fundamentals and the news were the thing that gave me the difference between blowing accounts and profitability. I have to know when the market is going to be volatile and when it's not going to be volatile.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So you're looking for the time when it's not so volatile, right? Ah,
yeah.
okay. Okay, I see. Nice. So considering what you already told, you would consider yourself a scalper as well, right?
Yes, I'm a scalper.
Okay. Okay. And how much trades do you take maybe per day or per week on an average basis?
Per day, it would be around 5 to 8, something
Okay.
like that. I don't like to risk too much. If I've already felt like I'm done for the day, let's say I go 3, 4 trades, right? And that's about maybe 1% or
Hmm.
maybe 1.5%. I'm out of the market. I don't want to risk too much into the market and then
Yeah.
have it reversed and go against me.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally understand that. What is the typical risk that you're using for one entry then?
One entry will be about
Okay.
0.3% risk,
Hmm.
possibly 0.2,
Okay.
but
And what risk to reward ratio are you aiming for with that?
it's about 1 to 1.
1 to 1.
About 1 to 1. So
Okay.
around that.
Yeah. Really interesting. You already told me your most favorite trading pairs. Do you trade every day?
I try to, but I mean, if I see too much volatility in the market, NFP, I'm not getting in. CPI, I'm good. Anything around that, I won't get in if there's major news into the market, right? I might,
Hmm.
try my hand in news trading, maybe practice it. The thing that got me to this point was practice. I didn't just go in and gamble. I went in, I was more confident because I practiced in the demo and then got in. So,
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. So let's briefly describe your trading plan a little bit to us.
so around 5 o'clock my time, the Sydney session will start, right?
Hmm.
And I want to get in Sydney session, and I have a huge window to trade. I don't want to, when London starts to hit, I want to be out because London, that's usually when there's volatility, right? So Sydney Open will happen, maybe wait 15, right? A little bit, and then get into a range. If I see a range, then I'm looking to get in. Mostly a range that goes in my favor. So let's say it goes to the top and there's support and resistance. I'm looking to sell at that resistance or the supply zone, right?
Hmm.
Basically supply and demand within a range. But I also have to look at the price action. So I have to see how price is reacting at that level, and then I get in.
Yeah. Okay, nice. And so what are the timeframes that you're looking at and what are the timeframes that you're entering on?
I'm looking at the 5 minute and 15 minute, and I'm entering in the 5 minute and 1 minute, mainly the
Okay.
5 minute.
Okay. And on the 5 and 15 minute, you're mostly looking for support resistance zones, right? And then after that, you're going down to take an entry.
It's very
Okay.
slow, so we can take a little bit, but once it gets there, I know that it's not going to go crazy up, right? I'll be
Okay.
in a little bit of drawdown, and then I'll look to take my profit in.
Yeah. What is the SL size that you're using typically?
My stop loss is around 7 pips, and I look to take around 6 pips because of spread.
Ah,
So
okay.
6 to 7.
Okay. Nice. Really interesting strategy. I never heard something like that before. And yeah, if you get your 1.5%, let's say you're up for the day, 1.5% during Asia, do you consider trading later on in the day or do you just leave the charts alone for the rest of the day?
It all depends on the fundamentals and the news. So let's say I was feeling risk advert and I wanted to go up to 2% to hit that 5% target, right? I would get in if there was no high major red folder news at Asian. And if there is, then I'm done for the day. I don't want to risk playing around with the news or around it, because that's where price manipulation gets into play.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, let's talk a little bit about your trading history in that 1 year. Tell us a little bit about the history and maybe about adversities that you faced on the journey here.
Okay, so I would say when I first started in the demo account, like when I first started trading ever, it was actually really hard because I would trade this strategy, but the price would go against me and I wouldn't know why. So I would get into demo account, right? I would lose and I would win and I would lose. And I was kind of like break even, or I would lose and I would lose and I would lose. And I would have to actually go in and decipher why I lost. Like when I traded, I was obsessed. I was going in, I was content, YouTube, mentorship here, this guy, watch this thing, go over here. Like I was doing this all day, every day for a very long time. And that was the only thing that got me to really excel past being a rookie. I felt like when I started, I felt like I had a lot of talent when I first started this thing, right? Because I felt like it was just kind of like intuitive, you know, to understand these charts. But I did blow a lot of demo accounts. Now I haven't blown any real accounts. I think I lost a couple challenges because my trading style, I was going in too aggressively, right? And I found out that wasn't my style. When it moves too fast, I have to stay out of that because it can move up, down, reverse, and do all of this other nonsense. So I had to leave that trading style that YouTube shows you, you know, I mean, not YouTube, but you know, that social media will show you, right?
Yeah.
I had to leave that style and find my own style that works better for me and my psychology.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I really love to hear that you were talking about the style that is shown on social media, because that was the first thing that got me hooked as well. And there is going to be some guys that are selling you on the dream that you can achieve a 100-hour trade or whatever, and your SL can be around 2 pips and stuff like that. And that is totally crazy, because at the end of the day, what happens is that all of the new traders are coming in with the wrong expectation. And that is the reason why most of the traders are quitting after a few months, or after they take a major loss, because they were sold on the dream that it's going to take 1 year for them to be a millionaire. And then they woke up to the reality that it is really hard to be profitable in trading. And I myself, I definitely underestimated it, because trading really is hard, and you need to get yourself mentally in check, and you get yourself to be really focused during the sessions. And it was really a moment in my career where it clicked for me, where everything was falling into place, because in my life everything is connected. If I'm not going to the gym working out, I'm not going to be as consistent as I want to be on the charts. That is the reason why I got a habit tracker on Notion, and prior to trading, I'm always ticking off the boxes. Did I go to the gym? Did I eat healthy? Did I get myself into the right mindset before I went into the session? And that was really a good thing for me, because it accelerated my growth and my performance went really good. So the hardest thing is really to overcome the point where you think that you're going to be a millionaire in 1 year, and to stay in the game until you succeed at it. Because I myself, I always knew that the price of quitting trading was way too high for me, and I knew that I'm going to make it. And as long as you stay persistent working on that, you're definitely going to make it. And in my opinion, trading is hard at the beginning, and you need to figure out a lot of things. But once you have your strategy and you have everything in place, trading really is what I thought at the beginning that it really is. So I'm doing Wednesday or Thursday New York session, 2 hours, and that's it for me. That is all I'm doing on the charts. If I hit a 3R on Wednesday, I'm done for the week. And when I first started out, I really was a slave to the markets because I was watching the markets every day for countless hours. And you need to do it in a day at the beginning, don't get me wrong, but really when I went on to the journey, I really tried to minimize my screen time because at the end of the day, all of us are here to trade for freedom and not to be a slave to the charts, which I really were at the beginning of my years. So I really love that you touched on the false reality that people on Instagram are selling to all of us who are starting out with trading.
Yeah, it is. It is truly sometimes it can get to some people because you would think they make it look like it's very simple and easy. You just do
Yeah,
X, Y, and Z, but there's a psychology connected to why they do X, Y, and Z. Even if you
yeah,
do exactly what they do, you may get different results because of information that you don't know. There's also something that they're doing that person may not be doing. So that's what I would say. Like a beginner, it's really important to get as much information as you can. But once you get to that intermediate stage, more information then can be counterintuitive to
yeah,
too
of
much
course.
information.
Of course. It's just simple information overload because I'm trading ICT, smart money, and after I started out, I was always trying to learn everything about it. I was learning about fair value gaps, order blocks, all of that stuff. I really went and digged out all of the stuff that he has done. And what happened to me is I got really confused. And when I went on the charts, I saw 50 things, and my trading plan was like having 20 or 30 things that I need to see before I take a trade. So I never went on and took a trade. And that was the reason for me to really minimize the things that I'm looking for and to just simplify the stuff, because that is the thing that I talked about. Trading is easy when you know what you're looking for. And it's a little bit crazy because what I'm looking for now before I enter trade really were the things that I learned first when I started with ICT. So it really are the basics that for me completely worked out. And it wasn't that I really tried to overcomplicate stuff. I'm just looking for two or three things. If I see these things, I'm taking a trade, and if not, I'm good as well. And I think that is really maturing on the charts to get to really know what you're looking for and just sitting there watching it. If it's not happening, to not doing anything as well, because that's fine for me. And my highest hierarchy is the number one thing is I'm not looking to lose money on my account. So capital preservation is definitely a thing. And I'm just looking for high probability trades. If I see something, I take it. If not, I'm good as well.
Yes, yes, that's the thing. Is also being able to not trade is also a very difficult thing. I feel like for most people, right? That's why the demo is there.
Yeah.
In some other markets, I don't think they have free demo, but here in
Mhm.
Forex, you have a free demo, and that's a major advantage. So if you think that you see a trading opportunity, you can practice it. Of course, not the same thing will happen twice every single time. It's always a different day, but there is some consistency to how the markets move. Once you can get that intuitively, start to make some serious money.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What is your mental and psychological strength, and how did you develop it?
It's just as simple as risk management. Risk
Hmm.
management, risk management, risk management every single time. There's no need to go in with way more lot sizes than you should be, right? Because if you risk the same and you are consistent, you will then make money. It's just about being patient and
Yeah.
waiting. Even when I got in, I thought I was going to have a Bugatti. I thought by now I would have a Bugatti. But I've learned to make peace with not having the Bugatti right now and understanding that in the future it's more than possible with the proper amount of trading psychology and risk
Yeah.
management, and again with fundamentals and just not over trading.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that because, in my opinion, risk management definitely is the biggest thing that that is inside your control. You can't control if the market is going to go up or down. You can't control that, but you definitely can control how much you're going to risk per one trade. And that is a thing that the people need to understand, because once you push the button, there's nothing for you to do besides going to break even or stuff like that. But the outcome after that is random. At the end of the day, I'm always thinking about, I'm just trying to place a bet. Is price going higher or is it going lower? What is more likely to happen? I'm not trying to say anything with certainty, because once you put certainty in that, most likely what happens is that your ego is going to kick in. And I had that happening to myself, where my ego was so focused on seeing euro dollar trading higher that after I got stopped out, I'm going to enter again, and I'm going to enter again after that, because my ego was telling me that I want to see euro dollar going higher. But just because my ego wanted it, euro dollar is just not going to go higher. The market does what it wants to do. And if you're fine with just placing a bet and thinking about, let's say, 80% probability for euro dollar to trade higher, I'm going to place the bet. And once I put my trade in, I'm going to just leave it, because the risk management is there to keep yourself in the game long enough. You don't need to risk more to make more. You need to get access to more capital in order to make more money. Because in my opinion, doesn't really add up. Let's say if you're having a 5k or a 10k account and you're making, let's say you're over leveraging and doing 3 or 4% risk. Even if you do that and you make 10% with one trade, you're definitely not going to make Lamborghini money, if you know what I mean. You really need to get your capital up first. And after that, let's say you will have 2 or 3 million in funding. Even if you do 1%, that's completely enough for all of us to pay our monthly bills, if you know what I mean. And that is the thing, that risk management is the only thing you can control. The rest, the outcome is random of the trade. So just focus on managing your risk properly and not doing dumb stuff on the charts. Do not over leverage. Do not do it as I just said. Do not put your ego in this, and don't get too focused on seeing something trade higher or lower, because at the end of the day, the market just does what it wants to do.
Yeah, that's why I remember when I started out pretty small. I was trying to get in immediately, right? Because I had already practiced. I started out small, and then I looked to take that money and get even more capital and get more capital to do the exact same thing. Because it's the same thing, right? It's just different numbers, just zeros added to it.
Yeah.
And that's zeros added to the bank account. Very simple.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Yeah, and that is the thing. When you're over leveraging, you always have a fear in your head. What if price is going to turn on me? Do I lose this funded account? Or there are always questions that you're going to ask while you're in the trade. And that is too much pressure that I definitely am not going to put on myself. So I'm risking 1% per trade, and I'm totally fine with losing that 1%. Before I go in, I calculate my risk, I place my bet, and then I'm done. Because there is nothing more that I can do. And as you just said, take the money that you make, invest it to get access to more capital, buy some challenges, and just grow that. Because that is really what gets you the capital you need to fund your personal account. Because I'm not trying to do a 5k personal account, because if I do 10%, yeah, that's $500, but that really doesn't matter to me. I want to have a personal account which is 100, 200k, because if you do 10% there, it's really going to pay my bills at the end of every month. That's the thing all of us should aim for, in my opinion.
Definitely. I think that when people get to that point, it becomes much easier, because then you're not so stressed out.
Yeah.
You maybe take those trades that you would have taken on demo into a real account And then because it's kind of like the same thing. I feel like on demo it's just too easy and it's the exact same thing, but because I'm less stressed out, right, I'm able to do better. So
Yeah.
I feel like once someone gets past that point, it becomes a much easier game.
Yeah,
Or
definitely.
a much easier task.
Yeah. Okay. How is trading for forexprop.com different from trading independently?
Independently is very difficult. Even if you do have let me say you have about $500, you're gonna have to go in there and risk all $500 just to make $500. Instead of coming into Forex Prop Firm, buying a challenge, or they even have instant funding modules as well, that you can take those and then you can go in there and make more money back without having to risk the entire account. And you're stressing and stuff like that. It's less stress to trade with Forex Prop Firm than it would be on a personal account. Personal account's very stressful. I would say that's my hard-earned money going up and down. Remember the first time I started, I was breathing in and out because the first time I ever took a trade, it was news on NASDAQ when I first started ever with my own money. And it was too much for me. I couldn't do it. So it was just too much over there. But that was the first time, right? It got easier as I got on. And with the prop firms, it makes it much easier because there's a vision there and you can actually make more money with less stress.
Yeah, really good point, really good. Okay, the last question is, what recommendations do you have for someone that is just starting out with trading?
I would say practice and demo as much as you can. We have free demo in this space. Some other trading spaces, right? They don't have free demo like how we have it in Forex. We have a free demo. You can go in there, you can practice, build confidence, and have a reliable strategy and be able to build a psychology and an intuitive feel for the market in the demo account before you go in there and risk money. A lot of people lose a lot of money trying to do all of this stuff, trading, NFP, news, all stuff that they don't know anything about. Get as much information as you can until you feel like the information is overloaded. When the information is over, then look to take that information that you have and execute on that. And when you execute consistently, then get into the live markets or prop firm.
Yeah, I definitely can agree with your points. And I think that really is just all that you need to hear when you're starting out. Really don't get yourself caught up thinking about what the IG gurus are talking about, because at the end of the day, that really is not going to put yourself in the game for 5 or for 10 years or even longer. And what you said really is the foundation that you need before you're going to be a consistent, profitable trader. Okay, exactly. Perfect. Jeffrey, is there something you want to add at the end of our interview?
I'm very thankful to have this opportunity to be in the interview as well as trade for Forex Prop Firm. Very thankful for what they have done for us. The promos are very good. The instant funding model is very good. The challenges are also very solid as well. I like the challenges and they're a very good firm. Very thankful to be a part of this team.
Perfect. Okay. Jeffrey, thank you for your time and sharing insights into your trading strategy and how you became funded. If you guys want to know more about FPF, you can go to the first link in the description. That's it for this interview today. See you guys in the next video on the channel. Until next time, happy trading.